Good morning to everyone. My name is D. Monia Begum and my roll number is 234018047 and my subject is Analog Digital Communication and subject code is 2TECE403 and today our topic is Introduction to Pulse Modulation and Basics of Pulse Modulation and its importance in digital communication. Introduction to Pulse Modulation, Basics of Pulse Modulation in digital communication. Before going to the topic of pulse modulation, first of all we have to know what is modulation. Modulation is a process of encoding the information into a carrier signal. Now we have to know what is a carrier signal. A signal with constant frequency and amplitude used to transmit information is called a carrier signal. Now we have to know what is pulse modulation. A type of modulation where the carrier signal is a trained pulses and information is conveyed by varying parameters of these pulses. What is pulse modulation? A pulse modulation refers to a method where the pulses are used to convey information and it can be modulated parameters such as amplitude, weight and the position of pulses. This technique is widely used in the transmitting data over various communication channels. We know this diagram shows the which are commonly the most popular waveform. This analog signal or the modulating signal or the message signal. Next is amplitude modulating pulses. Next one is the width modulated pulses. Next the position modulated pulses. Type of pulse modulation. In their pulse modulation, they are divided into two types. First one is pulse width modulation and next one is the pulse position modulation. Each type of modulation has a specific application and advantages in a digital communication. Now we have to know pulse amplitude modulation palm, which is roughly known as. In a palm, the amplitude of each pulse represents the information being transmitted, and it is simply to implement can efficiently convey the data to low bandwidth scenarios. However, palm is a sensitive, which is known as pulse amplitude modulation is sensitive to noise and can lead to distortion in a signal transmission. Pulse width modulation, which is known as PWM. PWM encodes information by varying the width of the pulses while keeping their amplitude constant. In pulse width modulation, we have to keep the amplitude constant. This method is commonly used in applications like motor control and audio signal processing. And PWM refers to the good noise immunity and it is effective for the effective power transmission. This diagram shows the experiment we have done in the laboratory. The last one is the pulse position modulation. PPM conveys the information by charging the time of the pulse within a fixed time. It is particularly useful in the optical communications and satellite transmissions. PPM can achieve high data rates with a reduced power consumption in a certain applications. First of all, we have to transmit the message signal. Next one is the carrier signal. From that signal, we have to make the PWM signal after the PPM signal. This is the basic waveforms which are done in the experiment and we have known in the classroom. Advantages of the pulse modulation. Pulse modulation techniques are efficient in terms of bandwidth usage and power consumption. They provide the flexibility in data transmission and various media including wireless and wired channels. Pulse modulation also refers to a revolutionary against noise and interference improving and signal integrity. Challenges in a pulse modulation. Despite its advantages, pulse modulation faces challenges such as distortion in noisy environments. That means it has a disturbance of noise and the signal is not get the clear. And timing jitter can be affect the occurrence of the pulse position and with impacting the data integrity. Designers must carefully choose the modulation schemes to balance performance with complexity. Applications of pulse modulation. Pulse modulation is widely used in digital communication systems such as telephony and data networks. It plays a crucial role in audio and video encoding the streaming services. Additionally, pulse modulation is essential in control systems, robotics, industrial automation. Future trends in a pulse modulation. In pulse modulation also useful in the future. The techniques for higher data rates and it will be used in the researches and the strengths in the different methods. It likely to include the enhanced error correction techniques and the adaptive systems. Thank you.